Hey guys, this is Chandanabi. Welcome back to our channel from the Department of Information Science and Engineering from the College of Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering in 7th semester. So today we are discussing the subject called as an user interface design and with the topic called as an operable control and text control. So no more late, let's go to the topic. Operable control refers to the design and implementation of the control or the system that iterative, user-friendly, and the easily manageable. Those the control are the typically used in the various fields and including the engineering and technologies and user interface design and the industrial process to ensure the operators can interact with the system effectively and efficiently. So the key characters of operable control includes iterativeness. So control should be designed in the way that the easy to understand and operate and reduce the need of extensive training and instructions, and this includes the using familiar symbols, logical layouts, and the clean instructions. The second one is accessibility. Control should be easily accessible to operate without the causing the strain or the inconvenience, and this includes the consideration of physiological placements and size and ensures that he case of use and feedback. Third one is feedback mechanism, providing the immediate and the clear feedback crucial. Operators should be able to understand the effect on their actions through the visual, auditory, and feedback, and confirms that their commands have been received and executed. And the fourth one is error preservation and handling, designing the control to minimize the change error and essentially, however, the in case whether the error occurs, the system should be provide clear error and the message and corrective actions. The fifth point is adaptability and flexibility. So the controller should be accommodate different user performance and in the any situation, and the system should be adaptable, changing the condition without compromising. Though, so the last one is training and documentation. While the operable control aim is intuitive, they should support the clear documentation and training material and had uses where the necessary. So the advantages of operable control includes the quick response. They enables the rapid reactions to emergency situation or the risk and reducing the time between the identifying a problem and taking the actions to solve it. The second one is user friendly. Operable controls are designed to be user and understand the use and minimizing the errors and ensuring that individual can effectively utilize them. The third one is enhanced safety. In the enhanced safety, by providing the accessibility control, they can contribute to create and safer environments, especially critical situation or emergencies. The fourth one is adaptability. This control can be adjusted or adapted to accommodate changes in the organization process or technologies or the risk landscape. So, however, it can be disadvantageous for anything. So, let's consider the Orleanses it's over reliances. In this over reliances, dependency on the operable control might leads to the complexity and assuming that the controls will be always prevent issues with the consideration other facts. And the second one is the cost and maintaining the implementation and maintaining this control incurrence expenses, both in the terms of initial setup and ongoing maintenance or update. So the third one is complexity. In some cases, operable controls might be become over complex and confusions or error in usage. So when go to the next slide, other operable controls are tabs, slider, date pickers, and tree weavers and scroll bars. Uh, So in this description, a window contains the tabs and divider that creates the pages or sections, and navigation is permitted between the pages or the section, and the purpose is to preserve to present the information that can be logically organized into the pages or sections within the same window. When come to the point of advantages, resemblers the pages based on the cousins. So visually distractive, effectively organize the repetitive or related information. When come to the point of disadvantages, visually complex, And the proper usage is to present the discrete logically structure related information, and also to present the setting choices that can be applied to the object, and where the short tape label is meaningfully described to the tab's content, and when the order is information use varies. So when come to the point of sliders, the soft home detent button description, a scalar exhibiting the degrees of qualities on the continuum and including the following like a sharp bar and the range values with the appropriate tables like 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 up to 120 and or indicating the relative settings through it, and the location at is soft, and the when come to the point of temperature is scale and optically the paired buttons to permit the incrementable movement of the slide, and 71 harms like optically textbook for typing the displaying an exact value, and the textbook optically and detects the position for special values, and the many organized vertically or horizontally selected by using the mouse to and drag the slider according to the scale in until the desired the value is reached. So the point at the buttons at the end of the scaler or the clicking the change to the value. So keying the values of associated with the text box is purpose to make the settings on when the continuous qualitative adjustment and acceptability, and it can be useful to see the current value related to the range of possible values. Advantages like spatial representation of our relative settings and visual distinctive. So the disadvantages are not as presence and consumer screen space and usually more complexity than controls and purpose usage like to set the attribute for the mutually exclusive choice. When the object has a limited range possible settings, when the range value is continuously varying, and the relative fine when the choices can be increasing or decreasing some predictable and easily understood way. This spatial representation comparison is the interaction using the slide providing sufficient. So the thing is text entry and read also called as and read only controllers. When come to the point of this, a text entry or the read only control contains the text that can be executively entered and modified through the keyboard. It may also contain the entire text and beginning with the presentation and reading or displaying the purpose only, and there are two types of text boxes like single line and the multi-line text boxes. When come to the point of single line description, a control consisting the no more than one line text. The purpose to make the textually entries when the information can be contained within the online or one line of the screen that typically uses like you typing the name of the file to save, and typing the path of the copy for the file copy, and typing the variable data on the form, and typing the command and the multiple line description. A control consisting the multiple line rectangular box for the multiple lines of the text, and purpose to type the edit and read passage of the text, and typically values on creating or reading the electrical mail message and displaying the editing text fields. So these are text boxes and description like a control usually rectangular in the shape in which like text may be entered and edited, and the text may displayed for read or read only purpose, and usually purpose the caption describing the kind of information contained within it. An outline field border like is included for enterable or editable text boxes, and it is included for read only text boxes, and two types of exist. One is single line and the multi-line. When the first displayed, the box may be blank or contain the initial values. The purpose are like to permit the display and entering or editing textual information, and to display read only information. And the advantages are like very flexible and the familiar, and also the consumer little screen space. And the disadvantages like the requires the use of typewrite and keyboard, and requires the use of remember what must be key, and purpose usage like most useful data that is unlimited in scope and difficulty to categorize and of variant different lengths, and when the using the selection list or is not possible. So in this caption, the structure size like providing the descriptive caption and identify the kind of information to be typed and contained within the text boxes, and use mixed with the front, and display the caption in normal, intensive of the color and moderative brightness. So this the formatting have a single field, and alternative like caption may be placed in the text boxes and the place in the columns and immediately following the caption, like position above the upper and the lower left corner. So there's the display or read only boxes which are shown in the display. And when come to the part of structures, identify the entries and modifiers and text boxes within the line border, and reverse polarity receive and rectangular boxes, and the visual indicates that the enterable field and presence in the box in the reserved manner. So present display or the read only text boxes on the window background. break up long Break up a long text boxes through the impurable scales, so that is slash and space and other common delimiters. So when come to the point of size, the size indicates the approximate length of fields, and the text boxes for the fixed length data must be large enough and contain entire data. So the text boxes of vary length data must be large enough to contain the majority of the entities. When the entities may larger than the entry field, the scrolling them must be provide the primitive keying and the weaving the entire field. So highlightings, when come to the point of highlighting, call attention to text boxes data through the highlights techniques. So the highlight incentive and the ink colors of the choose its above complexity, screen background, and also like constant well within. So unavailable fields are like gray out and temporarily unavailable text boxes. When come to the part of fonts, to support the multiple fonts, use like rich text box. Thank you.